Welcome, peaceful travelers. Today we have an exciting episode. We are going to be giving you the top 15 exciting highlights of our 2024 travel year. So we're going to start out with what was our best budget vacation, and what was that?
Well, for sure was with the princess this year. We went with the Caribbean princess, and we left first from Florida to Southampton, but that's not the one. It's the next one that we did from Southampton through 12 different capitals.
So what we did was we became agents with Cruise Brothers. And if you go and be an agent with Cruise Brothers and you do all the advanced training with Princess, they give you a free cruise, which we thought was great. We love free cruising, right? So we booked a transition cruise from a transatlantic cruise from Miami to Southampton.
Yes.
And right before we got ready to go, they popped up a new list of free cruises. And one of the cruises was a 12-day capital cruise that Daniel and I both really wanted to go to, but it was a little expensive. It was like $3,500.
Yes, and it was in the same ship. So after our arrival, it was continuing to those places.
So we looked into it, but we thought, $7,000 is a little spendy for 12 days. And we can probably do that more efficiently with trains and driving and that kind of thing.
We were going to Switzerland, we were going to Spain, we were going to Andorra. Yeah. But at the end, we decided to do that extension, and it was great.
Yeah, so they opened that up, and we said, sold. And we received a 12-day extension of this cruise for $936 for the port fees and gratuities. Port fees, taxes, and gratuities.
And because you become also an elite status, so you have free laundry, and even you have one full minibar every time you take the cruise.
Yes, so they stock your little refrigerator in your room with a free minibar. They give you free laundry service, so you can every day you can put laundry out and back. They give you a captain's circle extension type thing. I don't know. They have
that allows you to go in different lounges and have a priority exit of the ship or entrance too. Yeah. And of course, a couple of events during the cruise that you can go, like a wine tasting or also like a welcome party with the captain.
So we were on that boat for 27 days, and the total cost for both of us was under $3,000.
Including the airfare from San Jose, Costa Rica to Fort Lauderdale that we did in JetBlue.
Yes, and getting back was a little more expensive, but we won't talk about that. So yeah, that was our best budget cruise. We loved the ship. We loved the staff. It was fantastic. It was a great month. And we decided in that month that we like cruising a lot.
And also we met a great couple in that cruise that they became our partners in crime, and we were going everywhere with them.
Yes.
And having dining sometimes.
Yes, it was great. So that was our best budget cruise. And we highly recommend becoming agents if you would like to. Cruise Brothers, there's no cost to doing that. You just sign up and you're able to book your own cruises. You're able to book your friends' cruises. You make about 7 to 8% back on your cruises. The main portion of the cruise, not the gratuities, the port charges or taxes. So it's a little bit extra, but that's really not the reason why you do it. You do it because you get the status on Princess. Once you become status on Princess, when you go to other cruise lines, you were able to get status on them. So we're in the midst of trying to do that with MSN, Royal Caribbean, and Virgin.
And Celebrity too.
And Celebrity too.
Now that we're talking also about Celebrity, one of the great tips that one of our friends gave us from Celebrity, which is related to this cruise, is that if you're going to do a transatlantic, do it in April. Do it in April because of the weather. which brings us to the second topic of where is the best weather we ever had.
We traveled for 6 months last year and had an absolute blast in South America, Europe, and Asia. Is the 3 big trips we took, and we traveled for long extents in each one of those. But I have to say, and I'm not biased, you're biased because you're born and raised there. But Costa Rica is the best weather. So we were in Costa Rica about 4 months last year because Daniel's Costa Rican and we live there part-time. We live in the Seattle area part-time, and then we travel. And I have to say, I really think that Costa Rica, we live in the San Jose area, is the best weather. It's like San Diego weather, and it's just nice every day. And you're able to get out and exercise. And
yeah, the thing with Costa Rica is a little country, just like the same size of West Virginia, has more than 100 micro weathers, and you name it. And you can go in different altitudes from 0 up to 9,000 feet or higher sometimes. So you have all type of weathers. And if you have rainy season, you go on the Caribbean slope, so it's summertime. And if not, you stay on the Pacific slope, and then you will have 9 months of not rain.
The nice thing about Costa Rica also is that there's lots of day trips. So you can do, if you want a little bit cooler area, you go up to the mountains. If you want it to be nice and hot and humid, you go down to the beach, depending on which side, the Pacific side or the Atlantic side. If you want it dry, you stay in the area like we're in the Santana area. And they say it's really hot there, but I don't find it to be hot. And I don't really like hot. But it's kind of San Diego weather.
Well, you like it because it's a little bit drier. It's not as humid like other parts of the country. But also, if you are looking for biodiversity, Costa Rica is the place. You have everything. You have wildlife. You have volcanoes. You have beaches. You have activities, nightlife, all kind of things, and also in a safe environment, and of course, a great medical attention if you need it.
And the other thing I like about it is there's no excuses for my workout in the morning. So I have only had it sprinkle on me twice in all the years I've lived there. In the morning, it's always nice. When the sun rises, I get up between 5 and 6. And in that time frame, it's always nice. So there's no excuses for me not to work out. So I really do like that.
Yeah, it's 12 hours of daylight. So it goes normally from 6 to 6 or 5:30 to 5:30. So you can really plan your day very well.
Number 3 is best sunset. So we are really, really big on sunsets and sunrises. And so we're big critics on that. So where would you say is our best sunset?
In Boracay. And the beach is Azure Beach, where the Hotel Crimson hotel is. Crimson,
yeah. It was that particular sunset was magical. We did a video on the Crimson Hotel, and they let us tour there. But that sunset with the boats coming in on the back, and it was just red, and it was absolutely beautiful.
The wedding also.
But that is a tough call because we have had some gorgeous sunsets.
Yes, in Vietnam, also in Boracay with the white beach is spectacular.
Yeah.
Costa Rica in Punta Arenas.
Costa Rica got the Sunrise Award.
Yes.
The Sunrise Award in Costa Rica in Punta Arenas was magical. We were there. You were working there for a month or 2 months. 2 months, and we stayed in Punta Arenas, and every morning we get up at 5 and watch a sunrise. And that sunrise was literally, you know how when you see the sunrise in the entire sky, like not just in the horizon, it's stunning.
Because it was tricky. That was a little bit tricky because we are on the Pacific side. So normally the sunrise will be on the Caribbean. Yeah. But in that case, yes, it was having that effect. But we're talking about sunset, because I was almost going to jump into the sunrise, which also competing with the Costa Rican one was in Japan. Because it's the country of the rising sun. So any sunrises were spectacular.
Yeah. Number 4 is best spa, which is one of my favorite things to do, is go to the spa. And Daniel, you have become a convert. You used to you never had spa days until you met me. Now you've become very excited about going to the spa with me.
Yes, it was a great moment. Well, of course, you were enjoying your time there without me 3 days before.
In Bali.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and when we got there, it was a great service and very professional.
And the
The
care.
facilities were great. That's something that you have to be careful where you go to
That's
check
true.
on the
That's true.
facilities, because
That's true.
sometimes if you, for example, if you ask them to go to your place, not necessarily, well, be sure that you have their all the material.
Well, so basically, Daniel wasn't there for 3 days. So I ended up checking all the wrong places to go for massages out before he got there. By the time he got there, I had it very well thought out, called the Care Day Spa.
That was a great place.
So we will link that to the bottom in Bali. It was absolutely fantastic, very professional. When I came in there, there was 5 Australian gals that were in the lounge area, and they became evangelicals of the Care Day Spa and told me all about how wonderful it was and whatever. Anyway, came back the very next day, and they were all there again. So we laughed because we were all addicted to it. I think the whole day, I think it was almost 3 hours, you and I both, was $90 for massages, just the whole Marianne. So that was great. I would give that.
That was great, which in a
10.
cruise it can only be for a facial.
Yeah, if that. So number 5, we are looking at the best hotel in hospitality. And what did you think about that?
Well, the best hotel ever will be the Intercontinental Grand Hotel in Vietnam.
Phenomenal.
That was amazing.
We had never experienced customer service like that. We got off the plane, and there was a gentleman there with our name, because we are IHG Elite. Just by getting the credit card, you get to be elite status in IHG. He was there to take us. He was a representative from the hotel, take us from the
Ho Chi Minh City.
In Ho Chi Minh City, coming off the plane to where our van was. And we had arranged a van to drive us 2.5 hours. The van was absolutely phenomenal. It was like a party bus. It had stadium seating in the van. It was just absolutely beautiful. And we did the 2.5 hour. The 2.5 hour ride was $110 for both of us. And the driver took us to the hotel. When we got to the hotel, the managers were there. They opened up the door for us, and they took us for a 45-minute tour of the facility.
Yes, it's 2 hotels, so it's
Yes.
in one. You have you go in the main lobby, and then you have on your right the Intercontinental, and on your left you have the Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn. Both are gorgeous.
They are gorgeous. They used to be both those 2 buildings. They used to be a MGM from like Vegas style.
Yeah.
And then what you have in the middle is commercial centers. And movie theaters, you have
a bowling alley.
You have a salon, you have bars, you have even a nightclub, and huge casino.
Listen, it was 1,800 steps from our hotel room to where we had breakfast. That's almost 2 kilometers.
If you were going by the inside.
That's inside and under shelter, out of the heat. It was beautiful. And right outside our room, we got a corner suite because we got upgraded to being elite status. There was a whole light show and music, and it was like we were in Vegas. It really was, except you had the gorgeous view of the water. So I would say that was my favorite hospitality. Vietnam in all was great hospitality, but these people took it over the top. The food was great. The prices were wonderful. We really enjoyed the Grand Ho. And we will definitely go back.
That's a 7-star for that hotel.
7 stars.
7 stars.
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
Or a 10?
No, then it will be a 12.
Okay, good.
Number 6 is our wild adventure, or our biggest adventure, which was in 2 places. Was in January in Chile, in Coquimbo, and we almost lost our way in to the ship again. And the other one, because of the same reason, was a couple of months coming back from Amsterdam to Rotterdam. So in both of cases, we got confused about the hour. The first one, we thought we were all calm. We were in Serena. We arrived to Coquimbo. Then we took a taxi going down to Serena, which is much nicer. We were having a great time. And we thought that we have to be back on the boat by, I think it was by 7 and not by 5. But when we were, just taking pictures in Serena, just like 30 minutes far away, we start to have a call from our friends from Ireland, and they start to tell us,
that we made on the boat.
You're not in the boat, and we are just, about to leave. Well, how come about to leave? No, we leave at 7. No, we leave at 5, I think it was.
Said, why aren't you guys on the boat? We said, well, we don't leave till 7. They said, no, we leave at 5. So Daniel had told the cab driver who was waiting for us. We were having a great time. We were just walking on the beach. We were tasting the food. We were buying little souvenirs. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it turned into this amazing race. And Daniel told the cab driver that he would tip him an extraordinary amount of money. I can't remember what it was, if he got us to the boat on time. So he's like weaving in and out of traffic, and
too much New York movies. I give you this amount if you get us there on time. And well, anyway, at the end,
we were fine.
Well, we were fine. We were not the last ones because it was one lady behind us.
We were second to the last.
And then afterwards, one of the people from the boat, they told us, "Oh, you almost lost the boat."
7 is our best home exchange. Now, we've talked a little bit about this on our station about home exchange. We are big home exchange advocates. We love home exchange. And we stayed 5 different places in home exchange this last year in 2024, and they were all amazing. They really were. But our very best was on Vancouver Island. We stayed with a family there that we stayed in their home. And this home was gorgeous. I want to grow up to be this home. This home was right on the lake. It had a master suite on the main floor. Then the second floor had 2 other bedrooms. It had an elevator. It was 3 stories high. You had parking up on the top, but it tiered down to the lake side view. It had a dock that had a motor on the back of it with a whole beautiful, very comfortable outdoor seating area. So we took the boat out and we went out to the middle of the lake with them. I took my sister as family and my niece and nephew and my brother-in-law.
You're having canoes too, and kayaks, and that you could use because they told you, and the place was great. The place was nice, and something which was great about the lake is that it was not for water sports, so it was very calm all the time.
It was. So a home exchange is awesome because you can either do a reciprocal exchange, which means that they would come to our place in Costa Rica or a place and by the Canadian border that we have 2 Airbnbs. One's there and one is in by the Canadian border. And then they would go there and we would go to their home. We don't do that. We don't participate in that kind of home exchange because we travel so much. We don't really have, it's very rare that we find somebody who wants to do exactly the same time. You can also do if you have a second home, or if you have your primary residence and you're going on vacation or a cruise or whatever, and you allow people to stay in your home while you're gone, you get points. So we have a lot of points, and we are able to reach out to, it usually takes about half an hour to reach out to maybe 20 or 30 different people in an area that we want to go to. And then they respond back, maybe 3 or 4 respond back saying they're available in that time. And it's just like Airbnb, except you just basically probably pay a cleaning fee, and that's it. And you stay for points of how you reciprocate. So we love home exchange.
Next topic is going to be what was the best tour we had in our cruises in this year.
And land tours.
And land tours, of course. And this one was a land tour. It's a land tour that you organize, you check online, and it was a food tour in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City. So we were going to be all our time in the Grand Ho Tram Hotel, but then We decided that we have to go to Da Nang, so we took a plane. We went up to Da Nang, and our exit was from Ho Chi Minh, not from Da Nang. So we came back to not have problems with the visa that you have to put the port of entrance, port of exit. So we came back to Ho Chi Minh City, and in Ho Chi Minh City, you organize a whole day tour. We got a transportation fixed, and that whole tour during the night was in the market and walking. It was a walking tour. It was great.
That should have been our adventure, probably highlights of our adventure thing, because I was just coming off of the food poisoning, and we decided we were going to do this street treat tour, which was my idea. I really wanted to do it because I had seen online and on YouTube how great these street tours are for touring the food. And it was $35, and the host was amazing, English speaking. We actually got it off of the Airbnb site, so the Airbnb excursions that they have on there. And I felt very safe.
She was very professional. She was very professional. She was guiding us. We provided transportation. Yeah. We provided transportation. So the transportation, we were having a driver, and she was bringing us to the market, and from there we were walking around in different places of the city with her. She was taking us like locals in local places, having the food. It was very clean. Even if it was in the street. She was all the time taking all the measures, and she was having sanitary and everything. But sometimes we didn't ask what was. What we were eating.
It was really good.
Now, the food in Vietnam
highly recommend.
Spectacular.
Yeah. And it's good to have all those kind of adventures that you just never would. Yeah. You would never actually have here in the United States. It's actually really great.
So what was your favorite of that? The big snail?
No, not the big snail. I think my favorite was that pizza, the pizza they put on the grill. It was really amazing. So our next one is the best nature. Number 9 is best nature that we experienced.
Vietnam will win again.
Vietnam will win again. Again, I think you guys can tell we really enjoyed Vietnam. It was absolutely beautiful. We went to this place called Lady Buddha in Da Nang, up in the mountains, and they had everything. It was actually beautiful, and it was super peaceful. I really enjoyed that part of it, and we went through and it's a very
it was a spiritual experience. Yeah. It was a Buddhist temple, but at the same time you were having monkeys and you were having birds, etc. Yeah. Of course, we're not talking about Washington or Costa Rica, because then we will be competing in our pride. But yes, that in that case, that was beautiful. Vietnam will be a great place where you can have also a combination with the beaches and with the nature. The spirituality, the people is amazing, and the food is world best.
Yeah. What about beaches? What are your number 10 is beaches?
We'll have to go to Philippines, and we'll have to go for one of the world wonders, which is Boracay Beach.
Boracay Beach. It was breathtaking. When you went through, we stayed about 400 meters from the beach, and you walk down to the beach. And the first morning when I walked in, it took my breath away. It was beautiful. The sand was absolutely white, and the beach and the water was crystal blue.
Yes, it's turquoise colors. You can walk like 100 meters or more than 100 yards, and you still see the edge, and you still see your feet, and you see all the little fishes. They have this canoe transparent, and the beach, like you said, is white, and which is very important is that it's not hot even if you're at noon, because it's made out of coral. So that's why you keep the temperature cold, or at least normal.
Definitely go to Boracay Beach. It is a life-changing experience. It's nice to be how to get there. Also, you fly in and you have to take a little boat, and it's an adventure getting in there also.
Yeah, the beach that we're talking about is the White Beach. The White Beach, that they have several stations, station 1, 2, and 3. If you're in station 3, you have more nightlife. In station 1, it's more calm, and it's a beach that you cannot drink or you cannot smoke.
On the beach.
On the beach.
Yeah. In the restaurants, you can.
Yeah, the country, they did a big effort to recover and to protect the environment.
It's
there.
gorgeous. Okay, next is 11. We're going to go into our little cruise category here. Best cruise ship. What'd you think? We took 5 cruises this last year. I think a total of about 9 weeks.
Yes, and the best of all was the Royal Caribbean.
I think he's right. Royal Caribbean, it was the first time that we had been on Royal Caribbean together. And I hadn't been in many, many years on Royal Caribbean. And we liked it for a lot of different reasons. One, it was actually a very large ship. It was on their Odyssey series that they have. And we're pickleball people. We like pickleball. So upstairs, they had 3 indoor pickleball courts. And we played like 3 hours a day.
Yeah, it was great.
Phenomenal.
And also
For
when
2
it was
weeks.
not a pickleball court, it was a bumping cars or also a laser
Bumper cars,
games,
laser tag. They had a lot of different
badminton,
activities that people were
soccer,
fighting.
basketball.
Yeah, that people were fighting to get. The pickleball people were a little aggressive. They wanted their pickleball the majority of the time. They didn't care, and so they. But anyway, we met a lot of really nice pickleball people.
I think there were 18 or 19 floors, so it was as
Super
tall
big.
as Princess Discovery, for example, but even larger.
Yeah.
And the stabilizers were amazing.
Mhm.
We were never moved, even if you were seeing outside the waves or whatever. Yes.
And they were going into dry dock to refurbish the boat. They do every 5 years, and we were looking around going, what are they going to refurbish? I mean,
Yes.
it was gorgeous. The boat was absolutely gorgeous. The food was good.
The food was good, and the service was, in general, the best.
The best.
In general, the best. Just like the Grand Hotram for hotels, and this one, everybody were very kind.
Yes, yes. Best entertainment is next, and the cruise ships.
So that will take us back to Princess. But because we met a gorgeous couple.
Oh, they were wonderful.
Dual Fusion.
They were an acrobatic dancing couple that had a wonderful act. And we became really, really good friends with them on the boat and became fangirls and guys and took their video and stuff. They were just wonderful, wonderful people. So we enjoyed their...
yes, we became their fans.
I actually became pretty maternal. And every time she'd go up on the thing and Colin would be taking hold of Tiffany and he'd be pulling her up and down. I'd be like, he's going to drop her. And she just kept on saying, he's not going to drop me. He's never dropped me. Everything's going to be fine. But I became very maternal.
They're super disciplined. And they work every day, not only in their workout, but also in the timing when they eat, etc.
So if you're ever on a boat or if you're ever in London, they're
look for Dual Fusion. They're in Instagram too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that when we went to Norwegian, which I was surprised because Norwegian, they start at the beginning like quite so, but then they became better. But I think it's also because of our waiter.
Our waiter was the best. So that one, Michael. Michael ended up being a friend of ours now, and he's part of our cruising family. And we ended up going to Philippines and met his beautiful bride, Christine. And as you saw in some of our videos, we went to different adventures to Jollibee.
Yes.
And did some different things.
Yes, we went to Philippines because of him. Yeah. So the the service in Norwegian, thanks to Michael, and also in Royal Caribbean with Rambir. Rambir was amazing. But he was like a maître d', and he was always finding the best spot, and he was always trying to please everyone. And such a gentleman, very classy, and yes.
So number 14 is best food in a restaurant.
Yes, and for that, we will have to go up in the mountains.
So wonderful.
So up in the mountains in Europe, between France and Spain, the Principality, which is called Andorra.
Yes.
We were with our friends, Eva and Enrique Conde, and we were having little, trips outside in Andorra, going to France or to Spain.
These people, they know how to entertain. They know how to eat. So every meal, we would go out maybe 1 or 2 times a day. And Enrique would order for us. And we would have like probably 7 to 9 different things. And some of the things I didn't know what I was eating. And they would laugh because after I ate it, they would tell me what it was. phenomenal food. I mean, every dish was absolutely out of this world. And
That was in Andorra.
Andorra. And we went up into this beautiful nature walk. It was a 2-hour walk up into the mountains. And it was in between Spain and France.
Yes.
And we had stayed in this little lodge. And the wonderful people, wonderful hosts and waiters and everything like that. And they just kept on bringing out the food. It was wonderful.
Yeah, the place was spectacular. Also, if we have to name a couple of restaurants, I'll tell you in Peru, the corner that you don't know, El Rincón que no conoces, in Lince, in Peru. El Rincón que no conoces, the corner that you don't know. That's in Lima, Peru. But it's in a neighborhood that is not the expensive neighborhood. It's in Lince, and it's world famous. And also, of course, in honor to your mom, the calamari in Spain were amazing.
So our last 15 is humanitarian award. So we travel a lot, as we've said, and we meet a lot of wonderful people in our travels. But this particular couple touched us deeply. We were getting off the boat in the Southamptons, and we got a call from our friend that Daniel knew many years, that they had COVID, and we were on our way to see them in Spain.
In Madrid, yes.
Said, I've been sick for a couple of weeks. I just thought I should get tested right before you come, and I have COVID. My wife has COVID. So you're more than welcome to come still, but just know that. So we were already kind of not feeling that great. So we said, no, it's okay. You guys get better. We love you. We'll catch up with you later. So I said to Daniel, let's look for a home exchange. He said, no, let's just get a hotel. So when we get to Madrid, beautiful Taylor Swift was in Madrid, and they also had a soccer game going. No room at the inn. So we were like...
And Madrid won the European Cup. So.
We were like Mary and Joseph, traveling around till 3:00 in the morning. We had to travel 45 minutes outside of Madrid to try to get a place to stay.
Yes, so because finally, in booking you cannot do it because they were trying to book you for that day until 4 p.m. the check-in. So you could not. You have to knock or go into the hotel.
So I said to Daniel, we were having lunch with another friend of his in Spain that next day, and I said, "Listen, I'm going to just go into Home Exchange and just start putting out messages and do that." Well, in true Megan fashion, I didn't realize where I was actually at, and I just started putting messages out all over Home Exchange. I put out like 30 messages, and I got like 6
all over Spain.
All over Spain. I got like 6 people come back and say, "Well, we would love to host you." So I brought him to Daniel, feeling very proud of myself. And he said, honey, that's a 2-hour flight. That's a 4-hour drive, So anyway, we did get a response from a beautiful couple that said, hey, we have space up in our mountain home, which is 45 minutes away. So,
but from where we were in Madrid was like 2 hours something away.
Yes. And so I said, are you on WhatsApp? They said, yeah. Do you speak English? Yes. So we got on WhatsApp and we started talking and laughing and having a great time. And they said, you know what? We're crazy. We have a crazy idea. And I said, well, we're crazy too. So that works out great. Why don't you come to our home tonight? Because it's getting late at 11 o'clock at night. We have a neighborhood party with a band and all that kind of stuff. We'd love to take you to it. We're going to spend the night at our house. Tomorrow morning, I have to go to a test that I need to do, but we'll just leave you in our house. And then after that, we'll come back and we'll drive you up 45 minutes up into the mountains and check you into our house up there. So we looked at each other and said, okay. So we ended up meeting them at 11 o'clock at night, went to the neighborhood block party with the band. It was huge, had a blast. Went to bed that night. The next day, we get up. Nobody's in the house. They left us in their house. That's how Home Exchange people are. They're just amazing. And then they came back, and we became friends.
We became friends. We went to their place in the mountain by Avila. So just before Segovia, we stay there. We commit the mistake to have an electrical car, which don't do that in Europe if you don't have their local credit cards, otherwise you cannot charge it. It's complicated. Yeah. And at the end, when we were almost not having any charge, and they invite us to go to see a flamenco show, and it was a surprise for Meg. Then I called them and said, I'm sorry, we're not going to make it because we have to wait until this thing will charge, and it's going to take like 4 hours.
Yeah, we sat there 3
so
hours
they
already.
drove back in, they picked us up, we went to the show, we went back to their house, and I drove up with Luis to pick up the car that finally was already charged.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, they were wonderful, and it was very heartwarming to see the kindness. They called on us every day to check in on us and to see how we were doing. And she said to me at the end, we always knew each other, we just now met.
Yes.
Which was beautiful. So Andrea and Luis were amazing, and we
Home exchange.
We really count blessed from Home Exchange that we've actually met them.
Which, if you are interested in Home Exchange, you should contact Megan because she knows all about it.
Yeah, I'll put a link down below that you can sign up. But I highly recommend Home Exchange. It is something that's really changed our travel experience, not only budget wise, but also heart-wise.
Yes.
So that is our top 15 highlights of 2024. We hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and we will see you in 2025. Cheers.
Cheers. Peace out.
Peace out.